The NBA trade ended a few days ago, and it came as a shock to many that the Chicago Bulls and Pelicans couldn't reach a trade deal over Lonzo Ball. Since the beginning of the NBA trade, the player has been linked to the team several times, and it seemed like a trade was imminent. However, for some twisted reason, the Bulls were not able to land Lonzo Ball. This raises many questions. Why exactly didn't the deal fall in place? What went wrong? Why do we think it would have been a greater career choice for Ball to go to Chicago? What is happening with the player at the moment? Well, let's find out together in this video. Welcome to Courtside, your one-stop hub for everything basketball. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any interesting rumors, news, and analysis of the game. The Chicago Bulls have all-star player Zach LaVine, which has caused them to consistently search for a backcourt mate who will help the player reach his full potential. Lonzo Ball has emerged as the best option, and this caused a heavy buzz during the trade deadline. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, the trade deal fell through, suddenly not happening at the last minute. Interestingly, the Bulls weren't the only ones who wanted to sign Ball. The Knicks also saw a future with him, with several analysts and fans fantasizing about a backcourt that includes Emmanuel Quickley and Lonzo Ball. Since Lonzo is a playmaker and a brilliant passer, it only makes sense that he would fit perfectly right next to Quickley, who has learned to create chances for himself. In addition to this, Lonzo is a strong defender, and since both players are very good at playing off the ball and also catching and shooting threes, the pairing would be close to being one of the best in the entire NBA. It's necessary that we also note that Lonzo Ball has seen this potential partnership and may be amazed by it, which has also fueled rumors that he will sign with the Knicks in the summer as a restricted free agent. Mark Berman of the New York Post wrote, "The Knicks are looking to make a move at the March 25 NBA trade deadline for an upgrade, preferably for backcourt help. Though Rockets combo guard Victor Oladipo is available, Pelicans pass-first point guard Lonzo Ball was higher on Leon Rose's list." The Post has learned the Knicks, with plenty of cap room, would be heavily on Ball's radar as a restricted free agent. As you already know, Victor Oladipo finally joined the Miami Heat from the Indiana Pacers, giving the Knicks only one choice left: Lonzo Ball. In the same vein, the Chicago Bulls appear to be more interested in Ball, according to ESPN Adrian Wojnarowski, who said, "I think there's a sense on both sides that a new home would make sense for him. I do think that there's a pretty good chance he leaves before Thursday's deadline trade." In spite of the heavy buzz around Lonzo Ball and the Bulls, some NBA reporters chose to believe that the deal didn't hold much water anyway, and there was no way it was happening. It was Casey Johnson of NBC Sports who first suggested that the Bulls wouldn't pay that much for Ball. He said, "As of Tuesday night, based on conversations I had with various league types, the Pelicans were asking for at least a first-round pick in any Ball deal. This new regime doesn't appear to me to be the type of sacrificing first-round capital, particularly on the front end of a large project to rework the roster. But I've been wrong before." And it isn't just about the draft pick. The money is also another reason why the trade deal didn't happen. According to reports, Ball reportedly seeks starter point money this summer, which means that he would be expecting a salary of $18 million and above every season. To a certain extent, we believe that the Bulls can afford this since Otto Porter has left the team. But because the team will now have to pay the massive fee of Zach LaVine in 2022-23, it becomes almost impossible to pay what Ball was asking for. In fact, it might be considered ridiculous for the team to spend that much on backcourt reinforcement. Despite losing out on Ball, the Bulls were fortunate enough to make some very notable trades, which includes Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr., and 2 first-round draft picks for All-Star center Nikola Vucevic and Al-Farouq Aminu. The Bulls also traded Daniel Alford and Chandler Hutchinson to the Washington Wizards for Troy Brown Jr. and Mo Wagner, and just right before the trade deadline, the Bulls flipped Mo Wagner for Daniel Tice. All of these moves make the addition of Ball to the team a taller order. According to Casey Johnson, he said, "Bulls would have to waive Thad Young and/or Tomas Satoransky to prepare an offer sheet for him this summer. Sign and trade talks also in play." A few days ago, it was reported that Lonzo Ball is no longer interested in playing for the Pelicans, and he has added that he wants to join the Bulls or Knicks in the offseason. Even though Lonzo has had his ups and downs, especially in this 2020-21 season, his performance has returned to above average in the last few months. The player has been averaging nearly 15 points on 38% shooting from beyond the arc. He's also improved as a facilitator after being relieved of his point guard duties due to the presence of Zion Williamson. As earlier mentioned, reports have suggested that Lonzo is not happy playing in New Orleans. We do not know if he has a problem with the city or the team, but we are sure he does not share this unhappiness towards his teammates. Evan Massey suggested that Ball enjoys playing for the Pelicans, but isn't a big fan of New Orleans. The reporter further claimed that the dream of Ball is to end up with the Knicks or the Chicago Bulls in the offseason. But this wasn't all. In an exclusive interview with his father, LeVar Ball, he revealed to the ESPN LA 710 that the presence of ball-dominant players like Williamson and Ingram in New Orleans didn't sit well with Ball. He further mentioned that his son had been forced to play off the ball while he had wanted to become the primary playmaker of the team. Fortunately, it appears like the deal is still a potential trade happening in the offseason. Despite that, the trade happening during the NBA trade period would have been an incredible addition to the Bulls team. The Bulls now have Zach LaVine and Vucevic in their lineup, and the addition of Ball to this mix is only going to make this starting lineup to another level. Furthermore, with Lonzo, the Chicago Bulls will be able to elevate the backcourt rotation better than what they have now with guard Tomas Satoransky and point guard Kobe White. Interestingly, judging by the on and off stats with Ball on the team, the Pelicans usually play significantly better. When Ball is in the lineup, the net rating of the team goes from a minus 4.5 to a plus 3.5. Individually, Ball is also doing very well for himself. According to recent ESPN point guard ranking, Ball is the 6th best point guard in the NBA. A close position to the likes of Kyle Lowry, Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, and Mike Conley. It might be preposterous to include that Ball is better than all of these players, but it would be fair to admit that he stands a tiny chance when put head-to-head against them. Other metrics like Raptor and estimated plus-minus consider Ball to be a net positive, with most of his value being noticed on the offensive end. However, trouble appears in relation to Ball's pick-and-roll defense, where he is placed in the 40th percentile. He has an opponent's points per possession of .94. To be fair on the player, this isn't a role the player has appeared comfortable in every time he has had to do it. This is because it usually involves tackling or guarding the best player on the opposing team, sometimes even the primary ball handler. And honestly, this can be quite too much pressure to put on one player. On the good side again, Ball's height of 6'9" and propensity to jump passing lanes makes him a serious threat when it comes to grabbing takeaways. Billy Donovan just joined the Chicago Bulls in November 2020, and since he took over as head coach, the Bulls have shown a considerable level of improvement and competence. There's no doubt that this was almost impossible with Jim Boylan, especially on the offensive end of the team. Despite their improvement, the team still needs a natural point guard, a player who is valuable both on and off the ball. Ball might not be the current best out there, but he stands a very good chance than a number of other candidates. The team has Levine and Kobe White, and they just need one more player who has the ability to take control of a scrambled defense, and a player whose shooting and passing abilities will enhance the abilities of the aforementioned players. In addition to this, the Bulls could do well with someone with Ball's defensive reputation. You might argue that the metrics don't completely favor Ball when it comes to defense, but adding a smart and rangy defender who can build turnovers while also turning them into great offense doesn't hurt anyone. In fact, before you know it, Ball will push the offense of the team to a level never thought possible. Honestly, signing Ball isn't the instant solution to the offense and defense problems of the Chicago Bulls, but adding Ball to their lineup is surely going to be a very good trade. They might have missed out on him during the NBA trade itself, but the team would get another shot at signing him during the offseason. To make things even more interesting, they'll be going against the Knicks in the fight for his signature. Let's see which team Ball finally decides to sign for. What do you think he'll do? What team do you think he would want to play for? Tell us what you think in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share with your friends. Thank you for watching. We are Courtside.